Now last time we checked out the Ferrari family, and today we have the Aston Martin family. Over my left shoulder, way back there, that is the Vanquish Volante, which is Aston Martin speak for convertible. There, the 4-passenger Rapide, and here, the brand new 2015 Vantage V12S. Coming up next on the Fast Lane Car.
Is our new 6-liter V12 engine. This engine is really, you know, about 75% new or better, based on, you know, really an engine block that's a 6-liter block that we've put a lot of new technology in and boosted the horsepower and output. So effectively, what you've got are things like variable valve timing, and you know, these new technologies that help get the better output, but also increase things like you know, how well it does for fuel economy, etc.
Give me the hard numbers. How many horsepower? How much torque?
What you've got here is it's 565 horsepower and 457 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. 4.0.
Fast enough to scare you.
Yeah, pretty fast. Actually, it's a lot of fun. Incredibly smooth. I mean, it's paired to a rear-mounted you know, transaxle on the back, which actually is 6-speed, 6 forward gears, and it really is quite smooth, and the output is incredible. It's a fast, fun car to drive.
So let's walk over to the Rapide over here, which I think it has the same engine configured just a little bit differently, right?
It is actually. It's just a little bit less horsepower, so it's 550 horsepower, but the same engine, same torque. You know, it's really what I really like about the Rapide is that it's a 4-door sports car. The sports car handling and performance wasn't compromised when adding the rear seats. So what you have is a nice sleek design, and you know, we really didn't compromise on design in order to add the rear seats and the availability of rear occupants. One of the things, I guess I'll probably show it to you.
Yeah,
here.
show me. That'd be great.
Show you all 4 doors open. Is that the seats in the back are bucket seats. So what you've got is something that is, you know, it's really an echo of what the front seats look like. So it's very comfortable if somebody's driving the car like a sports car. You're actually kind of cocooned in there and held, and you feel very confident. Plus, you're raised up a little bit from the front seat, so you can actually see what's going on in your part of the driving experience.
So how comfortable? Have you been back there?
I have been there, yeah.
You're pretty tall. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure, I'll get in and out of there.
Let's show our viewers want to know.
So you know, the front seat was actually adjusted by somebody other than me. It was actually somebody came and sat in it earlier, one of the journalists. So I'm not going to adjust it. I'm just going to get in.
Does Brian fit? And Brian fits, look at that.
Yeah, so 6'1", headroom, no problem. I can see what's going on. I can engage with the experience. You still get all of the great sounds while you're in here. Like, you know, with our V12 engine, one of the things that people notice is that the exhaust note is brilliant with Aston Martins, and it's something that you get to be a part of in the car, as you know, without having any of the you know, bad sounds that you might have that resonate, like, you know, vibrations or any other harshness that comes from the road. You don't get that, but you're part of the driving experience, and you can hear the exhaust, and it's really a fun place to be.
Especially in the back seat. Let's go look at the third car. Let's walk over here. It's a beautiful red. Look at that. My gosh. That's like
This is a volcano red.
I was wondering what
I was waiting for you to fill in the blank.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what the color is, but it's gorgeous.
This is the V12 Vantage S. It is a 2015 model year car, fresh off of the press launch. It is really an exciting new product that we're producing. It's effectively our biggest engine. It's the Vanquish engine put into the smallest, most fun to drive, sporty car. It's got a new transmission. It's a Sport Shift 3. It's a Generation 3 Sport Shift transmission, 7-speed, and it is paddle shifting, right?
Yep.
And it's loads of fun to drive. You've got adaptive dampening like you have in the other cars, so you can go from normal mode, which is really what you'd want on the street, to sport mode, which is when you have a nicer road that you can kind of get a little bit more aggressive, a little bit stiffer than normal mode. And then you've got track mode, which is the stiffest setting, really intended for perfect roads and the most fun driving experience with that one on smooth roads.
I take it those are real, functional, carbon fiber.
Yeah, everything that you see, one of the great things about Aston Martin is that we you know, when you look at something and you touch it and you feel it, it is what it looks like. So this is carbon fiber. When you look at the metal bits, they are metal. They're not something that's plastic that's been coated. When you look at the badge,
yep.
this is a great thing. It's made by Thomas Federini, a jewelry company in England. It is ceramic and metal. It's not something that's plastic that's been put on there, and it really is the last thing to be put on the car.
Right,
It's
so
really
how much horsepower
nice.
in this?
565 horsepower, and this is actually the fastest production Aston Martin that's ever been produced. It's 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds, and then top speed of 205 miles an hour.
All right, let's walk down the line. How much does this one cost?
I don't remember.
You know what? We'll find out, and I'll put a little font
No,
on
I believe that it's 189,000.
189,000, and
Yeah.
then the Rapide?
The Rapide is 199,000.
And then the convertible?
The Vanquish Volante is 298,000.
So that's the most expensive of the three.
It is, yeah.
And which is your favorite?
You know,
I'm putting you on the spot.
that is putting me on the spot. It's it actually, of the cars here, the Vanquish Volante is my favorite.
Because of the convertible?
Well, you know, it's funny because I like the Vanquish Coupe,
Yeah.
but yeah, I guess it is. I think it's just because it's the Vanquish. It really is the top of the line, and when you get in it, you know, it's the ultimate GT. You really have more knee room for a tall person. I'm 6'1".
Yep.
I've got more leg room, more knee room, more hip room, more head room than any other car that we have. And not just our cars. You get into any Grand Touring car, it feels more comfortable. The seats are comfortable. You feel like you could drive a long distance in the car and not have any problem whatsoever. Plus the technology is great in the car as well.
I have to ask this, Aston has, of course, an illustrious history of building cars, but at the same time, people would always say, you know, if you can't afford an Aston, get a Jaguar, right? And a Jaguar F-Type is considerably less expensive. So what's the secret sauce in an Aston Martin that makes it better than a Jaguar, for instance?
You know, it's. I think that there are a couple things.
Yeah.
You know, Jaguar has obviously they have a very beautiful design. They have a lot of really, you know, things that appeal to somebody that wants an ultra premium car. We make a luxury car. All of our components are genuine components.
Let's go inside.
So, for instance, the leather is dyed all the way through. If you scuff the surface of the leather,
yeah.
it doesn't turn a different color. You're not going to see any gray. If you have a light colored car, you're not going to have a dark spot all of a sudden. The other thing is I mean, it's all of the components in the car are genuine. Like for instance, these screws are metal. They're not some sort of plastic.
Right, it's not a little cap that pretends to be.
Right, it's you know, everything about the car is something that there's careful attention put into it, and I'm not bashing any other brand, of course. And you know, you asked me about Jaguar; they're a beautiful car, but you know, if you were to look at stuff like in our car, the leathers are from Bridges of Weir, right? And so this is in Scotland, and if you look at this spot where you normally wouldn't even see this piece of leather, right? This part that's inside the door,
yeah.
But it's hidden. But we still use the same high-quality leather there that we use in the rest of the car.
No
it's not something that we've cut any corners to be able to produce that. You know. The structure, the platform that our cars are built on is actually a VH architecture platform. It is a bonded aluminum platform. It is it's something that allows us to produce something that's a nice, really stiff platform to bolt everything onto, and it's light years ahead of a lot of the other brands out there. It actually takes probably more effort to build our platform than anything else, because it is because it's bonded together, bonded aluminum structure.
Well, thank you very much.
You start first.
On the fast lane car.